Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Married with Children. Now, I've never covered this show until now, so I'm so happy to bring it to you. A big thanks to all you new patrons, as well as all of you who are liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. It does make so much of a difference. Now, the feud between Amanda Beers, hope I'm saying that right, or maybe it's Bears. Either way, the feud between her and Ed O'Neill is one of legends. They are both co-stars of a show, Married with Children, that ran from 1987 to 1997. It was one of the longest sitcoms pretty much to ever be on television. Now, it was a little bit quote-unquote raunchy. That is why the viewer discretion is advised, and even the topic and the topics that I'll talk about in this video aren't the usual ones, but I want to see if all of you are interested in them, so let me know. Now, of course, the main character played by Ed O'Neill plays Al. He's pretty much the quintessential working class dad. Now, his wife is Peggy, played by Katie Sagal. Now, she wants more and more from him, including money and more time with him in the bedroom. Now, with the children, Bud and Kelly, they go through the highs and lows of ordinary life, and they have their neighbors, which you could say are the Rhoades or the Jeffersons, depending on which area you're talking about. On the show, of course, we know that Marcy, who was played by Amanda, and Al Bundy, they did not get along. They actually hated each other. Well, this was similarly true in real life. Amanda and Ed O'Neill did not get along at all. Now, they asked her in an interview what she thought about him, and in fact, she had not that much to say. She kind of deflected a little bit. Now, the words that I'll be looking at for this video are solely the ones of the actors and do not represent my thoughts or opinions at all. Now, Amanda pretty much said that she was not raised to say bad things about people, that if she didn't have anything good to say, she would rather not say it when asked about Ed O'Neill. She said that Ed was not happy at the end of the series, and pretty much that's why there was no big finale on the show. By the end, she was also pretty much done with the character, which she did love, but at the end, the show stopped being funny, according to her. Now, she was also the director of most of the episodes at the end of the series, and she said it was time to essentially move along. She had a lot to say to the actors and was pretty critical, and she was pretty tough, if you can say that, but nevertheless, she called Ed a great actor. Now, Ed pretty much spilled all the beans on what happened with the show and in regards to their feud. Now, Ed O'Neill did say that everyone pretty much got along on the show, but he did not get along with Amanda, and other people didn't get along with her as well. Remember, all his thoughts from now on until I say otherwise. Now, he doesn't know essentially whose fault it was that they had this feud, but they began to grow apart throughout the seasons of the show. In fact, seasons 1 through 3 were okay, but then from the 4th on, things started to build. The friction started to build. He said that maybe he reminded her of someone that she didn't like, an uncle or something like that, but he wasn't really sure. They would argue on set, off set, in front of the actors, cast, and crew. And according to him, she changed. She changed a lot. Now, it was no surprise that she was gay. She was a lesbian, and that she had a partner too, but it became an issue in the sense that, according to Ed, as the show progressed, she became more and more masculine. In fact, he would say that during the beginning of the show, she was a lot more feminine, very cute. That was her personality. That's how she dressed. But as the show progressed, she became more and more masculine and more snarky, as he would say. And when she did get married, everyone on the cast and crew got an invitation except Ed and David Faustino, who did play Bud. They were pretty much the only two main people who didn't get an invitation, and he was upset about it. He asked her why. She said that it was a hard decision for her to make, but she decided not to bring them, not to invite them, because she believed that they would see two women in tuxes walking down the aisle, and that would seem to bring laughs, that they would laugh at her, and she did not want that at her wedding. Now, when he heard this, he said he was absolutely amazed. He said, "I can't believe you would think that we would do this. In fact, what's funny about two women in a tuxedo?" And he proceeded to laugh at her in her face, and she called him a bully. And in fact, it kind of blew up. And he said, well, in fact, it is pretty funny. And I would have laughed at the wedding. And in fact, I guess you're right not to invite me. Now, although that may seem like a big deal, I think that this is an even bigger one. Now, he once had a big fight with Amanda. He said that she was not bright. He was like, you know what? You're not too bright. Even though he admitted that she was bright, but then he said, in fact, I don't think she was. He went back and forth a couple times. Why? Well, because according to him, she was expendable. He said and told her in her face, hey, I have a button. I can push this button anytime I want. And anytime I push that button, you could be off the show. There's no show Married with Children without me. There could definitely be a Married with Children without you. That is Amanda. He said he would never really have used that button, asked them to remove her from the show, even though he could. But she was very upset that he said that to her. And in fact, they just rubbed each other the wrong way. They did not like each other. Now, the big question is, what do you think about this? Do you think that either of them was in the wrong? Maybe both of them was in the wrong? Who actually started this? Why would this start this feud? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. And was this apparent while you were watching the show? Because the characters did have this friction, but did you note that they had this real life friction? Maybe it evolved throughout the series. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. Again, none of this represented my opinions. This was all the actors' thoughts that I wanted to put in this video. Thanks for your support. We'll see you all next time. And don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: John O, David D, Sally N, Jerry D, Vito L, Citizen Kane, Jennifer P, and Kevin K. If you want to appear on this list and support the channel in a very personal and effective way, links are in the description. Thank you so much.